Hey friends, I'm going to cut straight to the chase and give you the info you're here for. It looks like a lengthy video, but it's really not. I just go into a lot of extra information. Here is the summary. Why should you do a Master Lost Sector? Answer is because there is a bugged scenario now where you get double perks outside of the Lost Sector. Normally you're only supposed to get double perk guns inside of the Lost Sector, but it happens with the World Loot Pool outside of the Lost Sector. Let's say, for example, you got a reward and it had 2 perks on the right column. Well, now for the rest of the game, if it drops from the Cryptarch, if it drops from the Gunsmith, whatever, if it drops from a Solstice bounty like you see on screen, you now have 2 perks on the right column of that gun. And the same happens if it were on the left column, for example. Here's another example where I get a great Glissando roll from the Lost Sector chest, then I turn in a bounty, get another Glissando, and it happens to also have double perks. Other than the double perk guns and the bug associated with it, you also get other rewards like enhancement prisms, enhancement cores, exotic engrams. Rahool now has a free focusing daily rotation, just like the original Lost Sectors, so take a look at focus decoding. Today is an arm day. Tomorrow might be a chest day. And it's free. Just turn them in. I often have way too many enhancement prisms, so I just go for the Red War legs since it gives me a chance at... Since it gives me a chance at Stompies. If you wanted to go for a specific exotic that just costs 2 Ascendant Shards and a lot of Glimmer, I run out of Glimmer before everything else. I have practically infinite amounts of cores, prisms, and Ascendant Shards, but I never have enough Glimmer because I'm focusing stuff to make videos on and to have a little bit of variety since I don't like using Igneous Conditional 24/7. So if you go over to todayindestiny.com, you can see the daily Lost Sector. There used to be a calendar and that's not there anymore, but you can also see the loot that's rolling for the day. So that's very useful. Let's move on to recommended weapon rolls when you consider double perks on one of the columns. So we have 3 different rotations. The first contains Old Sterling, Parabellum, Last Foray, Combined Action. The next contains Glissando, Heliocentric, Marcado, Geodetic. The final contains Rossarago, Crux Termination, Nox Perennial, Psi Hermetic. Let's go over all of them. Starting off with Old Sterling, this weapon punches way out of its weight class. I recommend going Perfect Float for anti-flinch. Second perk would be Hipfire Grip, especially now that you can enhance it. Then on the other column, I recommend Frenzy and Adagio. Frenzy because it's backpackable and you can use this auto rifle with Fighting Lion. Comes up very often. Otherwise, Gemini Jester is a good recommendation. Adagio plus the field-tested origin trait goes crazy for kill chaining. Next up is Parabellum. I recommend a PvE utility roll. Attrition Orbs has had some utility now that we need to do orb bounties, so there's that. Otherwise, it's just going to gather dust in your vault until a specific GM or Master Lost Sector requires doing something with orbs and changing your element or shoot to looting, and it's an SMG on the artifact. Otherwise, this is a pass. Last Foray came up last season for me with Onslaught, where I was using Discord and Lucky Pants to cycle infinite ammo while Lucky Pants was on cooldown, using Discord and then Incandescent to proc wall hacks, or Frenzy just for damage, or Cascade Point for rapid firing. The final weapon is Combined Action, which compared to Igneous Hammer doesn't hold a candle. However, it has some unique interaction with Bakris, etc. because it's an arc weapon. Also enhanceable hipfire with offhand strike, so if you want that memeable roll, it is there. But for utility wise, I recommend Zen Moment and or hipfire grip with kill clip, and you're going to use a build that makes up for the handling, whether that's Ophidian Aspect, Dragon Shadow, etc. Or you're just going for the rapid kill chaining with Bakris. Adagio is worth mentioning, but you can get that on other guns now. So I really think you build into Bakris. Let's move on to the next rotation. This one will be the Rossarago one. Again, same as the other SMG, this is just a utility weapon. Permeability, Attrition Orbs, or Onslaught. You could also go Rewind Rounds and Deconstruct to break Titan Barricades very efficiently, so keep an eye out for those two. This is a meta DPS contender, considering you can start on Bipod and then switch to a different perk and maintain the reserves. I have a couple of these, and I can show you that in game later. However, the rolls I recommend are either Slide Shot Surrounded or Clown Cartridge Bipod Or I guess you could even go Envious Assassin and swap, but I think they changed that recently. So maybe Clown to Reconstruction. I'm not sure. There's a lot of possibilities here, but I think the most obvious one is Clown to Bipod. Nox Perennial Fusion, Lead from Gold with Envious Assassin and Controlled Burst. You can craft the equivalent fusion, so this one is a pass, but if you do get this exact roll, maybe keep it. This doesn't contend with Messenger at all, or Elsie's Rifle, so it's kind of a cope roll. Maybe you go Elemental Capacitor with Void, maybe you play this with Bakris, I just don't know. The Wildcard Origin trait is again great, but Messenger has it too. Finally, we have the Glissando, which is in my opinion one of the best in-slot scouts in the game. The reason that you want no distractions or keep away instead of maybe perfect float is because with no distractions, box breathing, you obviously aim down sights, very obvious synergy. But what happens if someone rolls up on you? That's why you need keep away. When you see the perk keep away on the bottom left of your screen go away, you know that someone is about to slide you with the shotgun, which is very useful with box breathing. So that's why I recommend both of these perks as swappables. Of course, if the map is Eternity and it's a Trials round, it's extremely unlikely you go close quarters, so no distractions makes way more sense. Also, Suro Synergy is very difficult to proc with no distractions, so that's why I think Perfect Float would come up eventually. I don't think it's ever worth having double right column perks, but if you were to choose something funny, maybe Cascade Point. That's about all I can think of. Heliocentric is very obvious. Heal Clip plus either Kill Clip or Precision Instrument. You can do some crazy stuff with Mechaniers, Trick Sleeves, and Radiant. But if you wanted another option just to really tap into that strafe potential, Moving Target. It is a lightweight frame at the end of the day, so I could see you wanting that build. Marcado is unique because it offers Slice. I believe it's the only Slice machine gun. And then Triple Tap is very useful for stretching the ammo. I think Adagio makes the most sense out of all the perks since it does lack a little bit on total stats, aka range. So that's my recommendation. But if you can pull off the second tier of Golden Tricorn, that could be fun too. And if you want the ultimate info stick, you go Threat Detector Surrounded. Slice is heavily underrated considering how easy it is to proc wall hacks on Prism Hunter. So definitely get your hands on a Slice swappable if you can. This column's recommended. Then we have... Yeah, don't go for the Geodetic Sword. It's not worth it. Now let's take a cursory look in my vault to see what I've amassed over the course of grinding so many lost sectors. I think this one was from today. Keep away box breathing. And then a no distractions box. So I have to decide on which one I'm keeping. I'll decide that later. You can see 700 out of 700. I have a row of scout rifles I still need to test. What else do we got? Battle Scar. I guess I could have got something in the past with this. I don't remember. Let's scroll down to the rockets. Bipod Clown. Got the selection of Explosive Light or Surrounded between my two. Got some combined actions. Got a lot of choices with Zen Moment. I think I own the auto rifle. Here we go. Old Sterling, Perfect Float Frenzy, and then a selectable Focus Fury. However, in this meta, good luck proccing Focus Fury. You're shooting a clone half the time. I wish there was a filter to select the different types of Lost Sector weapons, but I couldn't find it. I even did the filter search. Okay, just gonna quickly glance, and then I'm gonna call it a video. And there you go. I had a Parabellum with Shoot to Loot, Attrition Orbs. I knew I had something else in here. So just keep your eye out for all those roll recommendations. Here we go. The row of machine guns from today. Did not even get close to what I wanted, but I wanted to end the day with the double perks on this left-hand column because I really want Threat Detector and Slice to land on the same gun with Adagio. That would be like the ideal setup. Have the extended mag, and then that machine gun is going to be glued to my Prism Hunter. Since I can use it both as a info stick if I'm not using the Slice mechanic, or I can use it as a Slice weapon. So I can build up a very nice kill counter on my other characters. I'll pass that, friends. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something new. I will see y'all in the next.